So holler real loud, boom shakalaka.
You know what time it is? Boom Shakalaka!
That's right. And it's a big boom shakalaka today.
Yes, absolutely it is. We're going to be talking with veterans today.
Yes.
Yes.
And the granddaddy of all the veterans right here. We've got the remarkable Mr. David Greene here with us today, World War II veteran, and welcome.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you so much. And welcome everyone for joining Miss Rocki and Chaveevah Live. You know, there is always something good going on the North End.
And everywhere else in the Cedar Valley. And you know this, right?
Right.
Yes,
All right.
right. And we're here to tell you about it from a North End perspective. Mm-hmm. And we've got so much to talk about today. We've been so busy with voting, Mr. Greene.
Right.
I'm certainly sure that you exercised your voting right.
Yep. Yeah, they have voting right there at Friendship Village, and so it's real handy and easy to access.
Oh, good.
Yeah, yep.
And a special shout out to your wonderful wife,
Right.
Marion.
Right.
Yes. Hello, Marion.
Hello, Marion.
And thank you for lending him to us.
For just a little while, yeah.
Right. And when you're named after a president, you better vote.
Yeah,
There
that's
you
right.
go.
That's right.
He shared his complete name, and it's David, what is it?
Calvin
Calvin.
Greene.
After,
Yes.
guess who?
Calvin Coolidge is president.
All right.
That's going back a little bit.
There you go. That's a bit of history
1945.
right there. Yes, absolutely.
That's a bit of history. Write it down. Calvin Coolidge was the president in 1925 when a lot of our fathers were born. And
Yes, same year my father was born.
yeah, yes, indeed. We just want to talk a little bit about all of the things that we've been busy doing, Chaveevah.
Absolutely, and we want to say congratulations to Mayor Hart for being reelected. This is his third term.
Yeah.
Doing a good job.
Yes, he is. And we also want to congratulate Dave Boson, who won a council at large seat, and
Yes.
Jonathan Greider, who won for Ward 2 for the city council.
Yes, and they were both on our show.
Yes, they were.
So we'd like to think that that's why they
That's
got
why
voted.
they got it.
That's
right.
right.
That's right. That's right.
Yep. And also we want to shout out Rhonda McRina and Daniel Chavez. Both of them were running for school board. Rhonda was running for re-election. Daniel his first time around. But the bottom line is both of them are very strong advocates for our children, and we thank you for that.
Yes, indeed. Thank you so much. Because, you know, some people got to step up and do their service to the community. And
Absolutely.
And they were certainly willing to do so. Yes, indeed. We also want to congratulate our $25 gift card winner,
Yes. Colette Jackson Fink.
Congratulations, Colette.
Yes.
And that just kind of lets you know, I know you're an avid watcher. You watch us every Friday at 4, right?
Exactly.
All right.
And you know, if you watch our show, then you have a chance of winning, and you don't even know that you're in the contest.
Yeah.
So yeah, and we also want to call attention to our background today. We are sporting some wonderful veterans that shared your pictures with us, and this happens to be Mr. Jim Gardner, who always tunes in.
Oh, okay. I didn't know who that was. I just know that a lot of our veterans did share some of their photos, and we thank you for your photos, and we thank you for your service.
Yes, and while we couldn't share them all, we did share some of our most avid viewers. And we know Jim Gardner is always with us. And I think we've got one, and we've got one of Mr. What's his name? The Blues Brother looking guy, Tom Cooper. Tim.
Okay, Tim
Cooper.
Cooper.
There he is. Look
Yeah.
at him. I don't know what he thought he was
Oh,
doing.
yeah.
Must have been getting ready to go out on leave. But
Yeah.
yeah, along with our parents. So you'll see some of those flashing behind us. And I think Zion has comments.
Yes. Velveeta Robinson says, boom shakalaka.
Oh,
Hey,
boom
Vita, boom
shakalaka.
shakalaka.
Thank
And
you.
also says, greetings from AZ.
Oh,
All
yes,
right, from Arizona. I wish I was there right now.
Right, and her handsome husband, he was a veteran as well.
Yes.
Yes, and we certainly are thinking of you on this first Veterans Day without Willie Velveeta, and thank you so much for sharing your pictures
Yes.
with us. And that was really a special time for us. So many people. I noticed, not Jim Gardner, but Ray, is it Ray Young? Ray, oh, I can't think of his last name now, but he wrote salute on every single veteran that
Okay.
came up. And some people just kind of, it's something that's close to their hearts.
Yeah, it's really, we were talking about this a little bit before the show about how important it is to remember and recognize our veterans, and recognize the role that you play with the freedoms that we have living in this country. And just to remember, because at the time you were going through your military service, you were just there. You were just in the thick of it, so to speak. And sometimes it takes after to be able to look back and reflect on, the battles, just different things that happened.
Or the fact that we get to have birthday parties and weddings.
Yeah, that's right.
And we get to attend funerals, even as sad as it is. We earn those rights from people like you that fought during those times in your war days. I know you were right involved in the thick of Iwo Jima. Talk to us a little bit about your military career.
Well, of course, Iwo Jima was a little tiny island, only 8 square miles. But we had B-29 bombers that were flying from Saipan, which was 650 miles to the south, and Japan was 650 miles to the north. And so many of those B-29s, after flying over Japan, of course, Japanese didn't like them coming, so they would shoot at them, anti-aircraft, stuff like that. And so some of them would get damaged, and it was very important that Iwo Jima was a place that they could land because they weren't going to make it all the way back to Saipan. So Iwo Jima became a place where over 1,200 planes had to land at one time or another.
Oh, my.
And there would be, when they flew bomber squadrons, there might be 50 or 60 planes at a time.
Oh, my.
They would fly in just a great big group of planes dropping bombs over certain cities and factories, things like that.
Well, we saw some of those bombers at the show out there. Where was it?
Just this
Chaveevah?
past summer.
The airport this past summer.
Right,
Yeah.
they had some B-17s. The B-17 bomber could only fly out about 660 miles, and it had to start back. The B-29 was made especially for the Pacific War because the nearest airports to fly to Japan were on the island of Saipan and Tinian, and they were 1,250 miles.
Wow.
So the bomber was actually designed and made for that particular part of the war. So they could fly flying 200 miles an hour. Quick math tells you 6 hours in, 6 hours back.
Right.
It's a long, long ride for those guys.
And what was your job, Mr. Greene? What was your title?
I was a radio man.
Okay.
I was with Headquarters Company, 3rd Battalion, 26th Marines. And I had carried in a little radio called an SCR 300.
Back then, in 1944 and 45, I can only imagine what that radio looked like.
Well, then it was a pretty good sized package. It weighed 30 pounds.
Oh, my.
And it became a little heavier every time.
Oh,
as
I
the
bet.
hours went on. But it was interesting because, to make a quick subject, AM radio bounces
Okay.
ground to clouds. An FM radio has straight signals.
Okay.
And it was just very interesting in that island was higher, of course, in the middle than it was down the coast by about 135 feet. So as I'm using that radio, if anybody got below me by the height of their antenna, which might be 12 feet of antenna sticking up, if they were more than 12 feet below me, they couldn't hear me.
Oh,
And it
my.
was just unbelievable because people would send me out on details to be with certain group of machine gun people and blah, blah, things like that. And I tell them, once I get down over 16 feet below home base, nobody's gonna hear me, and I'm not gonna hear them.
Right,
See,
and that's
it's-
just one of the problems that you may have encountered. I can only imagine several
Oh,
more.
there's quite a few problems.
Oh, exactly.
It's history, and it's also for young people that might be listening, just an indication of how much our technology has changed. I mean,
Right.
during those times,
Exactly.
we used what we had, right? And it has changed so much from then to now.
Well, yes, we were even able to see the attack that
Yeah.
that we saw at the same time that the president saw it,
Right.
when they just took out that
Exactly.
Al Qaeda guy.
Zion,
gonna
did
talk
we have
more.
some comments?
Yes. Kendra says, hey, I would love to come to your show and talk about the MLK banquet.
Oh,
sure,
right.
Kendra, yes.
Phil Banks
Yes.
says, hey, greetings from San Diego. Glad to see you guys.
Okay, glad to see you, and thank you for your service too, my dear.
Yes, thank you, Philip, Chaveevah's brother, Philip Banks.
Phil Butler says, hey, homies.
Hey.
Hello, hello. Go ahead. No, I'm sorry, dear.
Russell Spencer says, DJ Suspense says, keep on making us look good.
Oh,
thank you,
bless
DJ.
you. Bless you so much, DJ.
Russell Spencer also says, my two favorite people.
Oh, bless
Oh,
you.
thank you.
Thank you. And you are one of ours, Russell.
Absolutely.
And we have special guests today, and we're going to maybe get to talk a little bit more and see these veterans kind of compare notes. And
There's
talk.
my daddy in the background.
Yes,
Oh.
that's Mr. Phil Banks
A
behind you.
17-year-old,
Phil
17-year-old sailor.
That's
Yeah,
right.
Where was he in the war?
He was
Remember?
no, he was not overseas. He was stateside. I think he said he was in the Mojave Desert.
Oh my gosh.
I
Oh,
think he was a
wow.
bomb sitter.
Oh, wow. That
know,
sounds like
Well,
a
they were
touchy
out there
job.
practicing dropping bombs
Yeah.
in the Mojave.
Yes. So we want to not introduce yet, but we want to announce that we have two other guests that are mainstays here in Waterloo.
Yes, absolutely. Yolando Loveless and Chiquita Loveless, both of whom are military veterans and have so much to do with the well-being and keeping up with our veterans. And
Oh, yes. Very
that's great.
active. And they will be joining us here pretty soon.
and there's
after
a
we
lovely
get-
picture of them behind us.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
they're looking good.
Let me get out of the way so you can see.
And they're
Chiquita.
so busy, and they're so busy that we're hoping that Yolando can show up today because he's not quite here yet, but
Right.
he's on the way, I imagine. Yes, okay. All right. Well, thank you for that quick synopsis. We know you have so much more that we could learn and listen to, but we're going to move along. We had a great show with our co-host last week, the ever bubbly Chastity
Yes,
Martin.
Yes, from Royal Legacy Christian Academy, yes. And Preston Taylor, who is an entrepreneur, father, just a kind of,
All around.
yes, all around well-rounded person in our community.
Yes.
Uh,
And we also had, who else was it, Chaveevah? We had
had-
Preston Taylor.
And we also had
Don
Don
Sanders.
Sanders.
Yes,
yeah.
the motorcycle aficionado.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, and we got to ask you, about your No Shave November. You know all about that, right?
No Shave November.
Yes, it's to bring issues about men's health topics. So you're supposed to grow a beard.
Is that right?
I see you didn't start yet.
I didn't start.
Okay. Well, No Shave November. If you have a no shaved picture or you have a beard that's starting, please share it with us. We'd like to get your picture shown on our show. And it's
Yes.
bringing light to men's health issues. Last week we talked about men's breast cancer.
Right.
And this week, Chaveevah, I think we're talking about prostate cancer, something
Yes.
that men need to keep track of.
Yes, absolutely. And to be aware of the risk factors. Obviously, as you get older, the likelihood is greater that you might get it. And in African American community, actually, men are most at risk. African American men are most at risk as far as they're more likely to get it than men of other ethnicities. Younger, when they get diagnosed with it, twice as likely to die. Oh man, and you get more severe forms. That's not to scare you, that's to make you more aware that you should consult your doctor concerning screening.
Right, yes, no matter what your ethnicity or culture is.
That's right.
Just pointing out that African American men have a higher instance
Risk
of
factors,
this
yeah.
and risk factors. So please go get checked. Do it for your loved ones as well. Okay, Zion, we got to ask you something now. Are you ready?
Nope.
Yeah, I know you never are, but you always do good, and we know do well, and we know that that teenagers nowadays have a lot on their mind, and we just want to let everybody know that our teenager Zion, our intern, has a lot on his mind too. So we have to kind of pry some of that stuff out. So Zion, as I stall while the camera gets on you,
Okay.
how do kids your age feel about the holidays? You know, everybody was talking about how you don't say Merry Christmas, say Happy Holidays, and you know, what are the feelings on the holidays? Do you celebrate personally Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah?
I celebrate Kwanzaa with my family, but I don't I don't mind celebrating Christmas with other people. I believe that people my age like the holidays. We like the idea of it because it's our childhood. So it's like the snow, Christmas, all that stuff.
The
We try to-
reindeer.
The gifts.
Mostly the gifts. A lot of us
Yeah.
are little materialistic.
Okay.
But I believe that we like the holiday season, not just because of the gifts or everything, but like time to watch Christmas movies,
Okay.
listen to Christmas music, things like that.
Eat good food.
And enjoy your family, yes.
Yeah, sometimes some of your extended family is not here.
Right.
They come home for the holidays.
Yes.
Yes, well, very good. And what about that whole thing, Merry Christmas? Would you rather people say Happy Holidays or Merry Christmas, or do you have a preference?
Well, with the ever-changing world, I believe it's a lot smarter to say Happy Holidays because of the fact that some people don't know if they want to celebrate Christmas or if what they want to celebrate at that time. So it's just Happy Holidays. It
Covers it
covers
all.
everyone.
Yes.
Yeah, and it covers a lot of territory because during this same particular season, there are other things that are going on like Hanukkah,
Kwanzaa.
yeah, Diwali, I think. Just other folks are celebrating things. So if you say Happy Holidays, you have all the bases covered.
Even welcoming the new year.
There you go.
Yes. New Year's Eve parties.
That's right.
That kind of
That's
stuff.
right. That's right, Dave. Well, good. Thank you. And I'm so glad he's so open-minded.
Yes.
I mean, I know people your age that say, forget that Happy Holidays. I want Merry Christmas. You know, what's up
Yeah,
with that?
no.
So you're very open-minded. He's woke,
There
Chaveevah.
you go. Yes.
Stay woke, Dave.
Okay, we want to, as always, shout out our crew, which is
Yes,
Ed
always.
and the ever popular Zion.
Ed
we
and
just talked to.
Zion. Yes, Ed's back there going like this.
Okay, he's like, yeah, whatever. And we want to ask you to be sure to follow us on North End Update, like our page, watch us on YouTube, all of that good stuff, WCT Channel 17 or 79-4.
Yes.
Every Friday at 4,
or
Every
Saturday
Saturday
at
at
10 a.m. And no, we say this every week, but y'all act like we're not saying nothing. I haven't seen any new likes on our new page. We need some likes. You need to go
Hey.
to North End Update.
Who's that in the background?
Like my page, Papa Rock,
Hey.
Smith Daddy Jock. That's
There
my
he
daddy
is.
right there. World War II veteran.
Great.
He served in the Baker company situation. So, yes, love him. That's my favorite veteran. All right, so we got some comments, Zion.
Yes, we do. Amy Cass says, I love your outfit, Rocki.
Oh, Amy! I thought about Amy this morning. Thank you. Go on, Amy.
Hey, Amy, what about me?
Wow, thank you, Amy.
Phil Banks says, people are nicer during the holidays.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
you're
that's
right.
true. No matter what holiday it is, right, Dave?
And Amy Cass says, I've always said happy holidays because it doesn't leave anyone out.
There you go.
That's right.
And Lori Dell says, boom shakalaka, ladies and gents.
Hey, there she is. There she is. And everybody knows that Boom Shakalaka is 4 o'clock.
Yes.
Okay, so we got some supporters, and we are running a little slow,
Yes,
running
we
behind
are.
for some reason. But Yolando not here yet, so we okay, and so we'll just keep on trucking. Okay.
Walk-in.
He's what?
He has a walk-in he has to take care of.
Oh, I see.
Veteran.
Oh, sure. Well, we
Okay.
knew he was doing something wonderful, that's for sure. Okay, so we want to talk about our new supporters, TJ Christian Bookstore.
Yes.
Hey, that's good.
Have you been there? It's a new one.
I haven't been to the new one. I had been to the old one though.
Yes, and it's at 1806 Waterloo Road, and it's not the old Wiley's.
Wiley's, okay.
Yes, you wrote
My
that
bad,
name
I said
down wrong.
Moody.
Not the old Wiley's location. It's a whole new situation. So 1806 Waterloo Road. Go there, get your books. They have so many awesome
Yes.
things
I know
there.
what it is,
Books,
yeah.
cards,
Jewelry.
T-shirts, jewelry, just so many things for children, adults, everyone. It's just wonderful.
And they're going to have copies of my books there, so you can all go there and look for a book signing soon. All right, so we got Experience Waterloo. We were just there this week, 500 Jefferson Street. Find out what you don't know about the Lou. I know you know just about everything.
Just about, not quite.
Okay. And we got the Ferguson Team Real Estate. If you're looking to buy or sell, contact them, Chaveevah.
Yes, absolutely, Rock. And we also have UniQ Talent Search at
Yes.
800 Sycamore.
Education is the key.
Absolutely.
And Banneker Watches, of course, started in 2003 by our very own Derek Holmes. And look at that lovely lady behind us,
Yes.
Chiquita. Yes. Okay, we're going to get her on here pretty soon. And when you support our show, Chaveevah,
Yes, you should know that when you're supporting us, you are supporting Royal Legacy Christian Academy because they are our partner in education. And 20% of our sponsorships go to support the school. You help to pay our wonderful intern, Zion, the frequent prize giveaways that we have that we give away on the show. It makes it possible for us to even go on location sometimes. And it also helps us to recognize women who inspire.
and we have one with us today.
Yes, we
Yes,
do.
you're going to meet her in just a moment. Also, it also helps you promote your business. So,
That's right. It's win-win because it makes us all look good.
right. That's right. Okay, and without further ado, we're gonna Mr. Yolando is putting out fires at the Veterans Administration.
Yes, he
You
is.
can only imagine what he's dealing with.
Yeah, he may or may not be able to join us today,
Yes.
but if he doesn't, it's because he is really taking care of business with the VA. So
Yes.
there you have that.
And you have a few questions for Chiquita when she gets on, right?
Let's introduce her and bring her on right
Let's do it.
now.
Let's do
Yes.
it. All right. Without further ado, we're going to introduce this lovely lady that wears many hats in our community, Mrs. Chiquita Loveless. Yes. Welcome, Chiquita. And I'm so glad they did get you a glass of wine because you deserve it.
Well, first and foremost, boom shakalaka.
That's right. Here, I'm going to toast to that.
I'm with you.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes. Well, Chiquita, we get to I'm sure you watch our show every week.
do.
Oh, bless
At
your
my
heart.
desk, yes.
Okay. A lot of people
I know.
do that. They
Yeah,
cheat.
they do.
Okay.
Yes, they do.
Well, you know, we get to ask you the trick question.
Okay.
Love it when they
right.
don't know.
Look out.
So the trick question is not really a trick at all. The trick is that it's not a trick.
Okay.
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 And it is, do you subscribe to the Soul Town? Yes, you do?
I do.
Oh my
Hey.
goodness.
That's
And
great.
Dave?
I'm sorry I don't.
No, that's okay.
You'll have to get me.
Oh, you don't have to ever apologize for anything. You have paid your dues, mister. So
Yeah.
yes, no, we'll get you hooked up.
Get
Yeah, I
me
actually
hooked
have a
up.
family member that shares them, so I'm
Oh,
in there.
great.
I'm in there.
Right.
Yes.
Great,
Great
great.
articles.
Well, if you're
Yeah.
not a subscriber of the Soul Town, you're missing something really great. Go ahead, Chaveevah.
No,
Tell them how
I'm
great
just-
it is.
It is. It's like the most wonderful thing, especially since it started right here in Waterloo, and by Cherie Kaba.
My other best friend.
There you go. And it just covers so many different topics that are of interest, things that are going on not only here in town, but also nationwide. And at this point, worldwide, because now they're in circulation. In just a span of 3 years, they're in circulation in 18 countries.
That's awesome.
18 countries.
Yes.
I had the
Yes.
opportunity to see my sister-in-law in Soul Town, Tracy Loveless, authoress.
Yes,
Tracy
right.
Loveless.
the
Yes.
authoress
Yes.
and also an avid viewer
Yes,
of ours.
yes,
We
she
love
is.
us some Tracy, yes.
Yes.
And you can also watch this show that you're on right now, if you get the digital version. And this guy is way tech savvy too.
Yes.
He could go online and push play and watch this show in the Soul Town magazine. So if you want to get your copy, go to www.thesoultown.com.
Yes.
All right. And you can also get them at Tri-City Clothing or Earth's Beauty Supply. And now it's time to sing happy birthday while we're waiting for your husband. Where is he? Is he late this late all the time?
He
No, I'm
is. No, he said he had a couple walk in and he was trying to take care of them. So I'm not sure if he's going to make it because his priority is caring for our veterans. So
That is
Absolutely.
such a wonderful priority, and we appreciate it. Well, we're going to sing happy birthday to these people. Then we're going to find out some stuff about you, and you
Okay.
can speak for. This will be like the newlywed game.
okay.
We'll ask you all the questions about him because you know him
Okay.
pretty much
Yeah.
very
Okay.
well. Do you want to read off this first line of birthday people?
Okay. We have Rush Cleveland,
Yay, Rush.
Nashia Fields Olson, Daryl Rick Coleman,
Yeah.
Hey.
Shaiwan Young. I want
Yeah.
to make sure we say that right. And Jalen Cooper.
Yes. How about you, Mr. Dave? Can you read this line?
It must be Gene Doss,
Yes.
Alvin Wright,
Yes.
William Zanders,
Yes.
Brittany Perkins,
Yes.
and Taylor Williams.
All right.
All right.
Wow, a lot of birthdays.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. And finishing off, we have Cynthia Golden,
Yes.
D'Angelo
Cindy.
Taylor, Alan Robinson, Kathy Lentford, and Nikisha Morales.
Yes. All right. And we do it really well on our show. We like to make everyone think that they have a happy birthday, even if it's not going so well. So we want to sing. We get to sing to them to make it all good. And you like to sing, I heard.
Well, I'm going to join you all.
Okay. Okay. All right. We heard you as the lead of the choir.
Oh, well, that's a long time ago.
Okay. Well, we're going to
I'll
sing
follow
anyway.
you.
Okay. We sing the Stevie Wonder version. And it goes something like this. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Yay!
All right.
I always, see? Yeah, I
We're
heard
going to
that.
strike up another chorus
Okay.
there.
I always wish I had a singing
While
voice so I
I'm
could.
talking with you and your husband, Stacy Albus,
Mhm.
you know her.
Yes.
I've known her. She worked in our construction company office way back. she's the neatest gal there ever was.
Oh,
She
Okay. Yeah, she takes
Really
care of
does.
veterans as well.
she really does a good job.
Yes.
I've been out there and visited a couple times.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, Stacy.
well, Chiquita, welcome. And I want to ask you, how long have you been home? I mean, how long were you in the service? And when did you get out? And how long have you been done?
I've actually been out a while. I retired in 2006. And
Oh.
I served 23 years in the Navy.
Oh, my word.
And I served in the enlisted and officer ranks. And I'm just happy to be here. Done
We-
some great things.
Yes,
Happy to
yes.
have you
And I was
here.
listening to Mr. Greene, and you were saying AM, FM. My husband and I were also radio men.
Is that
Oh,
right?
Yes,
how about
so
that? What a
yes,
coincidence.
AM, FM, and I just want to give a quick shout out to our Navy. A lot of people don't know about this group, but World War II, there was a convoy, a ship actually called the USS Mason, and it was an all-black ship, and they did not lose a convoy.
Is
Wow.
They
that
carried
right?
all of their, yes, they did.
In
We talk
World-
about the Tuskegee Airmen,
Yes.
everyone knows about them, but the men of the USS Mason, they did great things as well over in Germany.
Amazing.
Yes.
And you say all black, and we know back then it was segregated.
Right.
So that's the reason for that. But yes, definitely. And
Yes.
thank them for their service for
Yes.
sure.
Yeah, and for sharing that bit of history because I had never heard of them
Yes.
until just now.
Yeah.
You
Right.
mentioned so.
And the list of your accomplishments goes on and on. But I know that you noted something about the picture that I noted on Facebook, and you told us that you were the first African American. Tell us about that in that particular picture.
I had actually just completed 2 tours with the Navy SEALs. I was their communications chief.
Oh my word!
And,
the Navy SEALs.
Yes, yes.
I'm gonna have to look at you.
I've been to prison war school. I've done a little bit of everything. But that was my very first ship. And Yolando has been on about 10 ships because he always felt he didn't want me out to sea. But we found out in order for me to continue making rank, I had to go to sea. And so we sat and we chose the USS Boxer. It was a brand new amphibious ship. During World War II, it was an aircraft carrier. But so
Repurposed.
and yes, amphibious ship that carried Marines, and it was a multi-purpose ship. So anything, we would have surgery on there, all types of things. But as I walked down the pier, and I checked on board, I found out that I was the first black female chief petty officer on the ship, which meant I had to watch, how I wore my uniform, watch how I conducted and carried myself because all eyes were on me.
Absolutely.
And you were
yes.
setting precedents
Yes.
for sure.
Now, they were making helicopter landing ships also.
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
you-
We actually had helicopters land on our ship.
Wow.
We had it's a mini aircraft carrier. Aircraft carrier carries about, and I was actually on 2 aircraft carriers, but an amphibious ship carries about 4,000 men and women.
Yeah.
My
Marine and
word.
Navy.
Wow.
Yes.
Zion, you have comments?
Yes, Phil Banks says it's really cool to see an elder.
Yes. Yes.
Joyce
Yes.
Ann
He's
Wilder-
my new friend.
Joyce Ann Wilder says, great couple to the Loveless.
Yes,
Yes.
the Lovelaces.
Yes, she is here
Definitely.
representing for herself and for her husband Yolando, who is taking care of, unsurprisingly,
Yes,
taking care
yes.
of some folks at the VA as we speak.
But we can only hope that he's got his phone sitting to the side and he's helping them, but he's looking over here at you.
He
too,
said he's
though.
watching us. So
Okay.
Say that.
Shout out to you, Yolando.
Yes.
Yolando. How do you say his name?
Yolando.
Yolando? Okay.
Yes.
Well, this happened. I know you've seen this package, and Dave brought this for you. Look. I did what? Okay, this is from us.
Yeah, well,
And we have a little segment, Chaveevah.
Yes, we have a segment that we have from time to time where we like to recognize women who inspire. And you certainly are one of the women in our community who inspire, the things that you do on behalf of our veterans and just so many other different things, and just a small token of our appreciation.
Wow.
Right, and a
Thank
Navy
you so
SEAL,
much.
I don't think you can inspire folks, but ain't too many of us gonna sign up for the
I
Navy SEALs.
know.
Okay, so let me
From Bougie
clarify.
Berries, by the way.
Thank you, Bougie Berries. Thank you.
Oh, you're so
Look,
welcome.
boom, shakalaka.
Strawberries to boot, yes.
I want to say, women can't be SEALs. So I was their
Oh.
communications chief.
Sure.
So when they went out into the field, I was the person, or my team, we were the ones that they would communicate back with to send the code word or whatever. And
Yet
but
and
I was
still.
in charge of making sure that, they were able to communicate with us
Yeah.
no matter where we go. And
Yeah.
we had a radio called PRC 77. It was an old timer and it had the handset. And then when I served with the SEALs, I got to see a lot of new technology. I believe we were the first to have the Palm Pilot. Remember when the Palm Pilot
Right,
came out?
yes.
We were
Oh.
like, wow, look at this.
Oh.
And then we went on to have a communications van, actual van. And the chairman of the Joint Chief of Staff came out, and I was able to brief him on our new van. And wow, it's just been the military, the Navy was really good for me. I got to meet during my time frame the Secretary of the Navy, and just sometime favor, just having favor. It was nothing to go to an admiral's briefing, and I was the most junior person there. And I'm sitting at the table like, wow,
Oh, I
I'm
bet.
the only female, I'm the only black in here. And all these captains have masters and doctorates at the time. But I know my stuff too,
Of
And
course.
so I had, sometimes you have to encourage yourself.
Part of the
Yes.
team.
Yes.
Yes.
It's teamwork.
Yes.
And I
but-
hate to be petty, but girl, you be wearing that uniform.
Yes. Yes,
Just
indeed.
imagine, having
And-
all those medals and stripes and the clout that goes with it.
And there's something else I've been wanting to focus on, and I think I'm going to go ahead and tap into it. I just have quite a few gifts. I'm just blessed. I've been blessed that way. And most people don't know I tried out for the Olympics in volleyball. I played volleyball for the Navy
Wow.
back in the 80s. Yeah.
Wow.
And
Oh
so
my goodness. Wow.
I keep trying to
that
get
is
over the
amazing.
East Side so I can take some of our young people and bring them up in the best light.
Well,
Let
you
them know
see-
there's a better life.
Oh
Wow,
my
yes.
goodness.
So, yeah.
Well, what a blessing that would be. Okay, so let's just briefly, I think our time is wrapped up. I mean, I can't believe how fast this half hour is
know,
gone.
I
We're so
know.
used to doing the pre-show.
But we
But
will certainly have to try to get you and Yolando to come another
Yes.
day.
yes,
Yes.
actually, for real. But tell us a little bit about Yolando's career and what are you doing now?
Well, currently, I am serving as the Associate Director for Military and Veteran Student Services at UNI,
Oh, perfect.
where I advocate anywhere from advocating to mentoring to just wearing multiple hats there for our veteran students, fighting a good fight for them to ensure that one day that, as they attain their degrees, that I will see them walk across the stage. And this year I was blessed to also, for diversity, inclusion, and social justice, which I work under that department under Jamie Chidosi. I am the retention and mentoring director, associate director for that as well. So that's what I
Okay.
do there. And Yolando has, he's almost been in the seat for a year, maybe about 10 months, I'll
Yes,
say.
we're
But
happy
he
to
is
see
the executive director for Black Hawk County VA, and he's doing an outstanding job. And we're both passionate about veterans, and we want to make sure they have what they need. In my capacity, I can tell you, I have one student that went to Afghanistan 3 times.
Oh my.
And I sit and watch the videos with them because they calm him. We have some that may have an anxiety attack or go into PTSD.
Sure.
I'm currently seeking, and the seniors know on campus, more real estate for our veterans because I really need a safe space, and I'm
Sure.
seeking to also have them have the students just have a one-stop shop
Sure.
where now I have tutors coming in if they need tutors, academic advising, financial aid. They all come to take care of the veterans. And Yolando is not only he takes care of the Cedar Valley, but also he's really been doing some great work. We went to Traer to a veterans event, and he spoke there on Wednesday night. So
Okay, I imagine your schedule is
yes,
packed
yes.
full.
So
Yes, and Zion, we had comments, I believe.
Yes, Joyce Sandwater says, drink that wine.
She needs another one because all of the stuff that she got. And you have to, go ahead, Zion.
Dorothy Jackson Reed says, just great.
All right, thank you, Dorothy and Joyce.
Joyce Sandwater says, go ahead, go ahead.
Go ahead on.
And also a strong black woman.
All right.
And Velveeta Robinson says, thank you for your service, Miss Loveless.
Yes, absolutely.
you're welcome. Thank you for supporting us.
Yes,
That's
that's
what it's
for
about.
sure. That's for sure.
Um,
And we just wanted to thank you for showing up today, and we know that your husband would be here if he could, but we also appreciate all that he's doing for the VA and the veterans around here.
Yes,
I've
absolutely.
met him out there.
Yeah. And if I could,
With Stacy Albus is working with him.
yes.
Yes.
If I could leave a word of encouragement to our young people, who are our future, don't limit yourself. Don't let your surroundings dictate your future.
That's
Stay
right.
focused, know what you want, go and get it. It's there for the taking, but you have to want it.
That's right.
Keep the naysayers out of your ear. Don't have rabbit ears. That's when everything's coming in. Sometimes you have to just stay focused and zoom out everyone else and find out. Do not wait until you're a freshman in college to try and decide where, in high school, to try and figure out where you're going to college at. That's something in 7th and 8th grade. Parents, you should be sitting with your children trying to figure out what they want to do. Because the kids are our future, the children are our future. And if we're not pouring into them, somebody
they
else
can-
is going to do it.
That's right. That's right. Get your mind set, or somebody gonna set it for you.
And
You're telling them right.
Yeah, we have a daughter. She's married to an Air Force sergeant. And Yolando and I,
Imagine
in January, will have our first grandson. So,
Oh my! Congratulations! Yes,
so we're really excited about it.
yes. Thank you so much.
I
And
would just like to say, no, on behalf of all of us, both of you, thank you so
Yes.
much for coming on today and representing and showing that kind of recognition and representation that we need for people to see our veterans in our community.
that's right. And we know our show went a little long. We
Yeah.
certainly appreciate all of you that are viewing now. And we understand that there's a military ball tonight.
Yes, we have 125 guests attending.
Oh my!
Wow.
Are you attending? You and Marion will be the belle of the ball. No.
If it's a very crowded floor,
Oh, you might need a little more room to do the jitterbug.
no,
Yes.
we dance better when it's crowded.
Oh,
Yes.
You just stand
Dance.
and sort of
okay.
shuffle your feet.
So,
Oh,
yeah.
okay, great. Well, you're going to enjoy it.
Yes.
All
So,
right. Well, hopefully Yolando will be done with
Yes.
helping the veterans at that time.
yes.
And
Or
we
he'll
will-
have to meet me there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Well, we want to make sure that we thank you again for coming on, and thank you for that word to the young people, because they certainly
Yes.
need some guidance, that's for sure.
And it's always a pleasure. Always a
Oh.
pleasure.
Well, we'll have you back when he
Yes,
can
for
join
sure.
you, for
Yes.
sure. All right, and until then, Chaveevah.
Keep doing more of what makes you awesome, because it makes us all look good.
See you next time.